Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. Well, it's cold. That's why I'm dressed like this. I moved from Southern California to Northern California, and I am perpetually cold, but it is winter after all. And today is the second Monday of the month, which means it's time for Plant-Based Classics with Lauren Bernick. I had the pleasure of meeting her in person in September when she came to the Live Your Best Life conference. And she is just as adorable, even more so and beautiful in person. She's real tiny, actually. It's all the hair. It's an illusion. Well, and being the holidays will soon be among us. I can't speak today, upon us. And so Lauren doesn't usually do desserts, but she is going to be doing a Dessert-Palooza today, because with the holidays coming, that doesn't mean we have to dessert, but we just have to learn to make healthier choices. So she's going to be making some classics, including the ever popular lemon bar. Please welcome her to the show. How are you, Lauren?
Hello. Look how cute you are. You are so bundled. I have a sweater on, but not as bundled up as you.
Well, I don't
Oh
think
my
I don't
gosh.
think it gets as cold in Texas, does it? As it does.
No, yeah, it's generally like it's cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon, cold at night. So, it's just all over the place. But in sometimes like in January it gets pretty cold. But anyway, well, it was so good meeting you in person and squeezing you and oh, you're just precious.
It was so fun. I can't believe people came. I mean, so many people, not just Kathy Hester and you, people flew in from North Carolina and Virginia, Canada. I mean, just for a one-day conference, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to surprise you and I would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for that meddling kid,
Yeah.
Chef AJ.
Well, it's so funny
So
because Lauren, I didn't know Lauren was coming because I don't look at registrations on my website. But the night before, we had to put the names in the name tag, and I'm like, Lauren Bernick, what? And then I texted her, and she was coming. But it still was a
yeah,
great surprise.
I tried to surprise you. But well, and it was a great conference. I loved it. Oh my gosh, that was so amazing. Yeah, I haven't gotten to talk to you since I didn't do October, but yeah, that was a lot of fun and it was a great conference. I loved all the speakers. They were great.
What'd you think of the
So,
100-year-old doctor?
oh my gosh, well, the funniest thing is you're always like, he's single, he's single. I'm like, okay, well, that's a small, audience for that, but okay, good for you. Always trying to set him up.
Yeah,
You're hilarious. Yeah, he was fantastic.
just
It was
adorable. He's gonna be
adorable.
he's on December 15th. He'll be on the show next month,
Oh, really?
having his 100th birthday, and I'm gonna hopefully make him a little party at my house.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. That's so cool.
I
I
know,
wish
I'm
I could
so
come to
glad.
that. I know I need to
Oh,
move.
yeah, excellent. Actually, or just come to his party.
That'd be fun. Yeah, he was so adorable. He giggled more than any man I've ever heard. Doesn't he
He's
giggle a lot?
precious. He's literally just precious. You just want to eat him with a spoon.
Yeah, he's pretty cute. I'll give you that. Yes. So I'm gonna make desserts because like every time I feel like every time we ask people like, what do you want Lauren to make next time? Somebody always says lemon bars. Some people call them lemon squares, some people call them lemon bars. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't really grow up eating those. Um, but I definitely had them like when I'd go to friends' houses and their grandmothers would make them. And so I was like, I'm up for this challenge. I'm going to give that a whirl. And then I got my Ninja Creamy la la for my birthday. So I'm going to make something in that. But you don't have to have a Ninja Creamy to make this because I'll show you why. But yeah, all right, let's start on the lemon bars. Um, okay, I can't get my overhead camera to cooperate today. So sorry about that. But all right, let's make the crust first. So we're going to make the crust. Um, Now, keep in mind, this is not health food. It's not the healthiest thing. There's a lot of maple syrup in this, but you could do a lot worse by like eating somebody's grandma's lemon bars. Because I was shocked that has a ton of sugar, and some of the recipes have a lot of eggs in that. So we're going to start by doing 1.5 cups of almond flour. Just, get it kind of even. One, there's my half cup. A little chunky, so you want to make sure you mix it up good. All right, 1.5 cups of almond flour, half a cup of rice flour. What?
Would you say that almond flour is just ground almonds if people wanted to do it themselves, or is it not fine?
Yes. Is it not fine? Is that what you said?
Well, like, for example, if somebody, I mean, almond flour is something I see in even regular grocery stores, especially
Right.
like considered paleo. But let's say somebody couldn't find it. If they had almonds, do you think if they just grinded them themselves in their, if they have a high powered blender, it would be fine enough to use?
It could be. It just says blanched almonds, but it's hard to see the texture, but yeah, I think they could. Maybe even in a electric coffee grinder. That's how I make millet flour, with my like little electric coffee grinder like this.
Yep, those are
That
great.
kind of thing. I think that's good so I would try it. I mean, I haven't tried it myself, and it says blanched almonds, so I don't know if you like blanch them. I would assume you have to let them dry out a little if you blanch them. I don't think you could grind them up while they're wet.
No,
That would
I'm
make like a
thinking the reason
paste.
for blanched is because then it's a lighter color.
Oh, maybe so. Yeah. So you think you wouldn't blanch it? You would just
I might
straight
just
up.
grind it myself because also like even at Trader Joe's, I see almond meal and it's brown, which I think is just ground almonds, but maybe the
Oh,
color just makes it lighter and fluffier, for
you
example.
know what? Probably so. And I don't think it would hurt to try. I mean, I might even try that next time. Um, but yeah, if you don't have almond flour, you know what I always say? Just give it a try. What's the worst that could happen? The very, very worst thing that happens is you have to throw it away. And I mean, that's rare. You can usually salvage it. Um, okay, and then you're going to do a half a cup of brown rice flour, which isn't even very brown. Looks pretty white. And then a quarter cup of, it's either called tapioca starch or tapioca flour. It's sort of like a cornstarchy kind of thing, or arrowroot. It's binding. Where was my little package? I think I threw the package away. That was the last of it. But yeah, sometimes it'll say tapioca starch, sometimes it says tapioca flour. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. A half a teaspoon of salt, optional. I'm not going to use that. And then you're just going to whisk these things up so that, you want to get the lumps out of the almond flour and combine it all. Make sure it's all good. Those chunks out.
Nobody likes lumpy flour.
Nobody wants that lumpy flour. That's for dang sure. Okay. And then you're going to put 2 tablespoons of maple syrup in the crust. This is for the crust part of the lemon bars.
That's not too much.
Well, there's a lot in the filling.
Oh,
Yeah.
more to come.
Hey, there's more to come. Trust me. It's, I made it with less at first. It's not really good with dates. It really requires some maple syrup. Okay, then you're going to start with, it just depends. You're going to do 2 to 6 tablespoons of water just to get this. Let me start with like 4. I think that'll be good. I'm going to stir it up. You want it to be able to form a ball. You want it to stick together. Maybe I might need more. Yeah, definitely. Well, I might need to change this on the recipe. I could have sworn that was all I used. Okay. Starting to come together. I think I'm going to change this in my recipe because that was 6 tablespoons and I need a little more. 1,
Okay, you'll give us the written
2.
recipe when you get a chance.
Yes. When it'll be in the show notes and it'll be correct. Okay. So you just want to make sure it can form into a ball. I'm going to take my rings off. I was going to tell you my hands are clean, but you're not eating it. but they are. So now, yeah, you can see it's starting to stick together, form into a ball. I don't know why my camera's being temperamental today. My overhead camera.
You're wearing those fancy bracelets that you got me.
I know. Do you ever wear them?
I do.
Yeah, I like them because they come in small, and I know you have teeny tiny wrists, and sometimes the bangles like slide down your hands.
No, that's the worst. Yeah.
I know, they don't stay on. Okay, so now you got a nice little dough ball, and you're just gonna flour up a surface. I'm just gonna use my old cutting board. So you can see me. Okay, just gonna put a little flour on it so it doesn't stick, and then just get my dough there.
Your dough ball.
My dough ball. Start pressing it out. You can get your rolling pin. Every time I see a rolling pin, it makes me think of when my husband ran a marathon. He's run several marathons, but our youngest was probably like 10 years old when Andy, my husband, ran one of the marathons, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sore," and my little one's like, "Oh, hang on, Dad, I'll give you a massage," and went and got the rolling pin and was like rolling him with it. And you know what? Andy said it was a pretty good massage. So every time I think of that. Okay, so you're going to roll it, but you want to kind of start making a square with it because you're going to put it in an 8x8 Pyrex dish. You could even kind of do this to measure it out, see how you're doing. And in that Pyrex dish, of course, you're going to do your old parchment paper or whatever kind of lining. I like to crumple it up real good so it sticks in every little corner, and you want to make sure that it overlaps on all the sides. We'll cut it down later, but all right, so I need it a little bit bigger. This is the tricky part. You're sort of eyeballing it. You can stick it in there and see how it goes. You want it to be like a 1/4 inch thick. You don't want it to be too thin. Sometimes you have to push it in a little to get the shape right and then roll it out a little, but you just have to kind of keep playing with it until it's a square.
Oh, so you're
Okay.
forming it by hand. You're not pressing it in a pan even.
I mean, I don't know how to bake. Just keep that in mind. What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. I thought maybe you're
What do
gonna
you do? Put
maybe
it in
press
here
it.
and figure it out. I mean, that'd be the smart thing, right? But not always smart. Yeah, but look, I eyeballed it in. It was right. So you do your method. Just do it. Look, all the point is to get it to fit in the thing. And I did it by eyeballing it. But you're right. That would have been the
I think
smarter
that's
thing.
fantastic that you were able to do it that way.
And then you just plop it in there. Try not to break it. Let me move this to the side. Yeah, I guess that would be the smarter thing, right? But then you got the parchment paper in there, and all right. Falling apart, kids. Okay, now I got to redo it. All right, now it's pressed down in there. You want to make sure, it goes to the edges because you're going to have your filling in there. Okay. It's not beautiful, but it gets the job done. All right, now I'm going to kind of cut the excess off. Usually I wait till I put my filling in, but I'm going to pre-bake this for 5 minutes. And I don't want this paper touching all the surfaces in the oven. Give it a little trim.
Actually, Kathy Fisher has a way to put parchment paper in where you don't have to do that. So like you put one in this way and then one in the other way, and then make the corners for you.
Oh, I gotta check her out. Kathy Fisher?
Yeah, aren't we clever?
She is smart.
What I do
People are
is
smarter.
what I do is I just use silicone bakeware, so I don't even need to use parchment paper.
So they have a silicone bakeware thing that's this shape.
Pretty much every shape and size, you'd be surprised.
Okay, I know you're always talking about that way. Let me put the timer on for 5 minutes so I don't forget it. 'Cause that would be classic me. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, go. Okay, let's cook that for 5 minutes. Yeah, she was nice. She was at your conference, right?
Yes, she was. Do you
Yeah,
met?
I met her.
Great.
Yeah, she's really nice. I think she's a little shy, isn't she?
Well, she's an introvert, but
Yeah. I think I love things like that and meeting people, and she is lovely, but I could tell that she's an introvert and that she was like that it was a lot for her to be talking to all the people. She was like, you know, just you could just tell, but she is precious and sweet as can be. Um, okay. So now I know Kathy Fisher's trick for next time. Like I said, you know what? I am not a baker. Uh, my mom, God, I hope that she never watches this, but she was a terrible baker. And one like memory that my brother and I have is that we came home from school. She's like, "Oh, I baked cookies." We were like, "Huh." And so they were like these hard little balls. I swear to God, she put sweet and low in them instead of sugar. She's like, "They're great. They don't have any sugar." And my brother and I picked them up. They were like hard little balls, and we immediately went outside and just started pelting each other with them. She's like, "What are you doing with the cookies?" I'm like, "These are for throwing, not for eating." So, I'm just learning how to bake now. So, okay, now we're going to go on to the filling. Um, I got her old Cuisinart here, the old gold. And we're going to just put everything in the Cuisinart. Let me put my rings back on. All right, now you're going to see why I say it's not the healthiest thing. It has a lot of maple syrup in it. But you know what? It's the holidays and it's okay once in a while. And you're not going to eat the whole pan, hopefully. Hopefully, you'll just eat like what? um, okay, so you're going to do like, let's see, a whole cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. I didn't do like last time I was on the show, I was like zesting and cutting oranges the whole time. So I did a little bit in advance, so I wouldn't be standing here doing that the whole time this time. Because you're going to need a whole cup of lemon juice. So that's like 4 or 5 oranges. And I like to squeeze it into a bowl and then measure it into a cup. I know I need a little bit more at this point. I'll use the lemon that I've already zested. So I'm just going to cut that in, cut the edges, the ends off first to use my lemon squeezer. And then cut it in half. And then put it in your little lemon squeezy tool. I already squeezed like a few lemons in here. I should almost have a cup. What did I make? Oh, I was making orange tofu and orange cauliflower. That's why I was zesting and cutting citrus so much the last time, which was.
I just use bottled lemon juice. I'll be honest. Santa Cruz organic. It's just easier.
Yeah, I know it's easier. I love this though. I don't know. I'm sure it tastes almost as good. I have like 3/4 of a cup. So I'm almost there. So Santa Cruz, is that something, where do you buy that? Just
I
at the
buy it
health
at
food store?
Sprouts, Whole Foods. Yeah, I get that.
I've never tried it. And you think it's as good as fresh?
I don't know, probably not. I mean, if I'm going to squeeze a lemon, I like Meyer lemon.
Yeah. They don't have it all season though. I mean, they only have it a certain time of year. Okay, this should be a cup. All right. Cup of lemon juice. Yep. Okay. I mean, you could squeeze it straight into the cup, but it's just like too small of a surface to try to get it in there. All right. So I'm putting everything into the food processor. You're going to need 3, what do they call it? Zest. 3 tablespoons of zest.
Wow,
Cut the ends
that's
off.
quite a bit. And so you would not be able to use bottled then because you wouldn't be able to get all the zest.
Oh, that's right. You got to have fresh anyway. You got to zest it. So you might as well. And I always cut the little, I don't like those little yucky parts. Looks like some kind of weird nipple situation. So let's get those off. Wait, my crust is ready. All right. Let me get this bad boy out. And my oven always goes off. Why do you do that? Some things you just can't figure out. Connect. Hello. 350. Okay. All right. So you cut the nipply parts off, and then you just get your zester.
The nipply parts. I love that.
I already did 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to do 1 more. It's super easy. Oh, it tastes so good. It smells so good. I know lemon's not like something you normally think of for the holidays. It seems a little summery. These are so good. People love these. These make nice gifts too, or if you're doing like a cookie exchange, that looks like a tablespoon.
Do
Okay.
you do cookie exchanges?
I don't do any of that kind of stuff. No. I don't want a bunch of cookies at my house.
I know they're a good idea though, cookie swaps. But there's a group in Dallas. They've been on the show Plant-Based Dallas, and they do healthy foods. They do like jar plates, and they do healthy food swaps.
That's a good idea. I would be open for that, but there's not like a lot of people that I know who would be able to swap food with me. I would love that. And I think I've said this before, like I'm not a huge sweets person. I'm more a savory, like I love chips and dip. That's the kind of thing, like for dessert, I could have 1 bite, put it away. I don't care. I don't, doesn't bother me. But like
Me too. As much as I ate so much sugar the first 43 years of my life, and I was a pastry chef, now in this part of my life, I would rather have chips and salsa for dessert. Like
exactly.
It's weird. I just prefer savory to sweet now. Not that I never eat dessert. I like it. I like fruit, but I just love savory food better.
Me too. That's exactly how I feel about it. I'd rather have a bowl of Ezekiel raisin bran for, quarter cup or a half a cup of that for dessert. But yeah, I mean, I'm just the kind of, I know I'm surprised that you would say that. I mean, you're known for being pastry chef.
No, I don't know what happened. It's just the craziest thing, but yeah.
Well, you healed your sugar addiction. I guess that's what happened.
I stayed away from it so long, and I just, I don't know. I don't seem to miss it, And like,
that's awesome.
I mean, just a banana is fine for me for dessert if on something.
Exactly. Or my favorite thing is to get like a big medjool date and a strawberry and just eat them in the same bite. That's a fabulous dessert. Oh, I love that. That sounds good right now. Okay, back to this. All right, cup of lemon juice. You need 16 ounces of silken tofu. I'm just putting this all straight into the food processor. I'm sure I could do this a little more elegantly.
Do you think I could use like Japanese sweet potatoes or hana yams?
Yes.
Tofu.
I do. I think so. That's what we're going to use in the next dessert. But yes, I know you can't have this, but I think you could do yes. I bet you that would work perfectly. I might give that a whirl sometime and report back to you. But I figured this would be really the right consistency. You might not have to cook it as long with the Japanese yam because it gets gooier or like more rubbery. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. You know how this gets jiggly? I think that'll form up faster. Okay, then a quarter cup of aquafaba. And the aquafaba is just the liquid that comes out of your good old garbanzo bean can. Just a quarter cup of that. That kind of fluffs it up a little bit. Half a cup of cornstarch or arrowroot. What do I have? I have arrowroot. I'm just going to do, it's a half a cup. I'm going to just put in 2/4 cups because it's easier to stick my little 1/4 cup in the bag. Not here so you can see it. Okay. Half a cup of my cornstarch or arrowroot. You're not going to do the zest in the food processor. You're going to mix that in later, but you do need like a half a teaspoon of turmeric for color. Make it yellow like you're used to. Okay. Don't put too much, half a teaspoon. And
Yeah.
it won't flavor it.
That's just for the color, huh?
Right, exactly. Okay. I think that's everything. Yep. I always have to check because, very famous, infamous for leaving out the something. All right, let me put this on for a sec. Old gold, my mom's trusty old, I swear this thing's been around 40 years. All right, let that go for a sec. You want to leave it for a minute because you want to make sure that there's no chunk of the tofu. It takes like a minute to get the tofu all blended up. Look at that thing. I love that. I love this food processor. It's just like when they say they don't make them like they used to, it's really true. Okay. You could even maybe put a little smidge more turmeric in here. I barely did a scant. I might give it like a little sprinkle. You could see that. I put a little smidge more. I'm just going to pulse it. One more time down in there. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to pour it into a bowl. Check for any. Oh, and I learned this from watching Chef AJ. To get all the stuff off the side, give it one more pulse.
Yep, that's a good trick. Can use
It
it
is.
on everything.
Yeah, then you get everything off the blade and yeah, it is good. Great tip, Chef AJ. But it looks like there's no stray lumps of tofu, so it's good. So now I'm going to mix in my 3 tablespoons of zest. If you put that in with everything, then it's going to get chopped up too finely, or you won't really get all the benefits of all the good zestiness. So just give that a good stir. Make sure there's no lumps of that. You don't want to get a big old lump of zest. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why do I make such a mess? Hold on, I gotta clean up my floor.
Welcome to my world,
Oh my gosh, I have stuff all over my floor. Okay. Okay, don't forget this has been in the oven, but okay, it's not too hot. All right, so we're gonna pour this over. Yum. You could probably just eat that if you like a soupy lemon pudding. I bet if you just put that in the fridge, it might firm up pretty well. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And so I just want to talk to you for a second about what it's going to look like, because you're going to cook this for like 25, 30 minutes. And really just like the outside 1 inch, like just the perimeter, 1 inch around is going to be solidly cooked. The inside square is going to still be jiggly when you take it out. Do not be alarmed. Just put it in your oven, cook it for about 30 minutes. Put the timer on. Okay. When you take it out, like I said, the inside is still going to be jiggly. Put the whole pan on a cooling rack, the whole glass pan, right on the cooling rack. Let it cool completely. It's going to take a while. And then when it's cooled completely, just stick the whole glass pan in the refrigerator for a couple hours or overnight even. And it's going to come out looking like this. Voila. Look at that. Doesn't that look yummy?
Looks amazing.
It tastes amazing. I'm going to taste a little bit. Did
your family like these when you tried them?
Yeah, you know what? Well, my husband, he always has to be the problem child. He did like it, but he says if it's not chocolate, it's not dessert. So that's probably one reason I never make these, is because we're really a pretty chocolate family. I think we're a chocolate family because of him. Oh my God, so good. Oh my God, I forgot to put the maple syrup in there.
It's so good, even though you forgot the maple syrup?
Well, that's a different batch. Oh my God, I knew I forgot something.
I do not like, Lauren, when that has happened to me. You put everything in the pie crust and then you realize you forgot an ingredient, or I've done that with cakes. That's because you're usually not cooking and talking to people like this.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Do you think I need to put it all in the food processor, or you think I could just stir the maple syrup in there?
No, I'm not sure. Do you have a product to show us just in case?
Yeah, this is the finished product. This has maple syrup in it, and it's delicious. And it's,
those really set up nicely.
I mean, look at that.
In the yellow, my gosh, they look beautiful.
It's so good. I know. All right, I'm not going to cook this yet, because after I'm finished with you, I told you I'm famous for leaving out.
I distract you. I can't believe how firm they are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be alarmed when you pull it out. Okay, and then I left out the main thing, which was like, it's going to be like 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup, which is a lot. So again, when I was pouring all that stuff into the food processor, I should have put 1/2 to 3/4 cup of maple syrup and then blended it all. So whoops. Okay, but then it's going to come out like this. But like I said, when you pull that out of the oven, it's only going to be cooked around the edges. It's still going to be very jiggly in the middle. Put the whole thing on your cooling rack, just like I have right here. Put the whole thing on your cooling rack. Let it cool completely. It'll start firming up, but then when it's cooled completely, you're going to put it in your refrigerator for a couple hours or overnight, and then it's going to be gorgeous and taste delicious. So good.
And do you keep these refrigerated?
Mm-hmm. I cut them with a pizza cutter, and then, man, it's so good. It's like tangy and it's sweet. It's really, really delicious.
And you say the reason you can't use date syrup is because it darkens it too much, right?
Yeah, it changes the color. It's one of those things. I mean, I haven't tried it with date sugar, but I think it might do the same thing. I feel like this is one of those things where you kind of have to use the maple syrup.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny because even though maple syrup looks dark, it's translucent. And I notice that when I make my sweet cornbread muffins, is they're not yellow, but yeah,
put a little turmeric in it.
turmeric. But I think the dates,
Turmeric.
is it turmeric or turmeric? Do you
It's
pronounce?
turmeric. It's turmeric, but I always say turmeric because when you look at it, it has an R someplace where it shouldn't be, which really drives me crazy. Okay, so that's that. Now we're gonna do okay, let me move all that stuff away. Now we're gonna make ice cream. This goes really fast. Oh my gosh, my kitchen is always such a mess, Chef AJ.
Do you have anyone to come clean it?
I mean, my husband could possibly be convinced, but he's in his office working. So I probably can't ask him to come out, stop working, and clean the kitchen for me. But he might. He's a very nice person. Okay. Let me rinse out a couple of my measuring cups so we can do something different. Don't want any lemon in my chocolate thing. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I left out the maple syrup. That's par for the course. But at least I remembered before I cooked it, because those would have been some lemony lemon squares with no sweetness.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
That would be so bad. All right, after we finish recording, I'm gonna go put that back in the food processor and blend it up. I won't just try and mix it in and cheat. Okay. All right, now this is so good. Oh my gosh. First of all, I love my Ninja Creamy so much. But you don't have to have a Ninja Creamy to do this. This is just, it's called chocolate peanut butter cup ice cream. I made this up. I was influenced by Drina Burton. She had like a vanilla bean one. And she used a base of Hannah yams and some oat flour, a couple things that I copied from her that I thought sounded delicious and healthy. There's like nothing in here. This is unlike the last thing we made. This has a cup of cooked white sweet potato, Hannah yam, 1¼ cup of unsweetened chocolate almond milk. So that's not really horrible. 6 medjool dates, 2 tablespoons of oat flour, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla bean powder or extract. You can even bump that up a little, a couple tablespoons of cacao, some optional salt. Guar gum, if you have it, just thickens it up a little bit, but you'll be fine if you don't. And then the last thing we're going to do is put in some naked peanut butter powder to give it that peanut buttery taste. So the thing about a Ninja Creamy that I didn't know until I got one is that you have to freeze it overnight. So you can't just be like, I'm in the mood for some ice cream. I think I'll have some ice cream right this minute. No, you can have ice cream in 24 hours. So you can, you always have to plan ahead a little bit for this. So first thing we're going to do is just a cup of Hannah yam. I just cook these in advance. I really always have sweet potatoes in the house already cooked. I know these are your favorite, right, Chef AJ, Hannah yams?
Oh my gosh, they're my favorite. And people that haven't tried them, I don't know how to explain to them how unbelievably delicious they are. I like them better than the Japanese. I like them better than the Hawaiian. I like them better than the Stokes. They are just amazing.
Yeah, they are really good because they're kind of just like a regular potato with a hint of sweetness. Yeah, but a different consistency even almost. I don't know. They are very good. Okay, so I like to fill my cup up pretty good. All right. But and we're going to blend this all in the Vitamix first. So when you're using your Vitamix or your high-speed blender, you want to start by having some liquid in the bottom. It's not good to put your yam in the bottom. It'll gunk it up and make it hard to turn. So we're doing 1.25 cups. Let me just do it now.
Do you ever eat them, Lauren? Do you ever eat the Hannah yams just as yams?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I definitely do. They're good.
I eat one every day for lunch, and I have for
I know.
but like 12 years now with a pound of broccoli. It's my favorite thing in the whole world.
That is good. You know what? I don't eat that for lunch, but I could.
What do
That's
you eat for
definitely a
lunch? Do you eat pretty much the same thing for breakfast and lunch, or do you mix it up a lot?
yeah. I mean, I definitely have. I usually have a giant salad for lunch. Um, I want to. Have you heard of the Jennifer Aniston salad?
No, I haven't.
I'm going to make this on your show.
Wow.
I've veganized it and made it all. I think it's vegan, but it has oil and it has things. Oh no, it has feta cheese in it. So I've definitely like veganized it and taken out the oil and all the stuff that shouldn't be in there. It's sort of like I would say like a tabbouleh salad, except that doesn't do it justice. It has so many good things in it. I'm going to make that on your show. So I usually make like a big salad, or I eat the leftovers from my dinner the night before, or I just do a bowl with rice, beans, greens. But that's lunch is where I really try to get in my beans and my greens.
Why have I
So
never heard of this salad? Where have you heard of it?
uh, somebody just told me about it the other day. I was like, why haven't I heard about this? Um, but yeah, Google it, see what's in it. It's very good. It's surprisingly good. And I've been eating that like every single day, my version of it, not the what you're going to find online. Okay. Um,
Yeah,
now I don't have, did you find it?
I'm going to Google it right now, but I always learn something new. It's just about every episode.
Isn't that something? All right. I have my glasses on. I don't have medjool dates. I have these pitted dates. And even though they say they're pitted, it's a lie. I mean, well, it's not a lie, but once in a while you find a pit in there and then it's just ruins your day. So I just check them. I'm going to use more than six because six medjool dates. Probably going to need about 10 of these.
All right. It said, what is the Jennifer Aniston salad? Which Aniston describes as a butchered Cobb adjacent salad, consists of chopped iceberg lettuce, sliced tomatoes, chickpeas, not too many, chopped salami, crunchy
No, that's not
turkey
it. That's
bacon.
not it.
That's not it? Okay.
Uh-uh.
All right. Well,
It's on like something bird eats like a bird or something.
okay. Eating bird food. Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, wait. According to the LA Times, let's see what the article says. Wow. Okay, I will find it. Yeah, I am eating eating bird food. I'm on their website and they're saying, but she makes it with bulgur or quinoa, cucumber,
Quinoa.
herbs, pistachios, chickpeas, feta, all tossed in lemon juice and olive oil.
So I made vegan feta, or sometimes, and I, instead of pistachios, I put just some pumpkin seeds, but it's good. Okay, let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, I have 12 of these little dates because I didn't have the medjool. Let me wash my hands. Yeah, that's super good. So I eat that a lot. But yeah, I definitely just eat. I keep it pretty simple. But I like what you're saying for lunch. I could totally eat that. I love broccoli. It's my probably my favorite vegetable.
What do
Broccoli and kale.
I love broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower.
Mhm.
What do you eat for breakfast every day?
You know, I don't really eat breakfast. I hate to admit that. I'm just, I don't feel like eating when I get up. I eat an early lunch. I probably eat like an 11. I get really hungry about 11, 11:30. I eat a big lunch. And then if I need a snack and I can't make it to dinner, I usually eat some fruit. Uh, if I really need a big snack, that's when I'll have like a quarter cup of oats or some third cup of oats. Try to get my oats in there, or I have it for dessert. But that's where I try to get my oats because I don't get them at breakfast. I used to, but just just not in the mood for it when I wake up anymore. I don't know. I'm changing, just like you, Chef AJ. Okay, got my dates in there. 2 tablespoons of oat flour. This should be enough to thicken it up, but like I said, I put in a tiny bit of guar gum, like a quarter to half a teaspoon, just to make sure it thickens up as much as I would like it. 2 tablespoons of cacao. I'm going to use vanilla powder. Let's do a little bit of this. 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. Let's give it a hint of flavor. What else? It's optional salt. I'm not going to put any. And then I'll put a little bit, 1/2 teaspoon of guar gum. Guar gum's just a thickener. You don't have it, it's okay. Just use your oat flour, make it maybe a little heaping. All right, let me double check, make sure I put all the ingredients in here.
Yeah. You know what I've used is chia seeds as a thickener.
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Okay, now I'm gonna blend this up. Put the lid on. Sorry, old gold, I'm gonna unplug you. Okay. All right, let that go for a sec. That's when if you get a pit in those, you forget to get all the pits out of those dates, that's when you're going to hear it. And that ruins your day. All right, this is pretty thick. Woo!
You can always tell if you have a pit. You just hear it.
Yeah, drink, it just, oh, it ruins your day. You're like, dang it.
And where do you get guar gum? Just like at a health food store?
Where do I get what?
Guar gum.
Guar gum. They have it at natural grocers. I think they even have it at Whole Foods. Okay. Now, like I said, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to put that in my Ninja Creamy. You got to, well, let me show you. Going to take it out. And you're going to put it in these little pint containers that they come in. They have this, do not fill past this line. Do not fill past that line. Take it seriously. But look, it's like a pudding. So that's what I was saying. There's always a little bit extra left. And so, honestly, I feel like you could just eat it as a chocolate pudding. So you can make this dessert. If you don't have a Ninja Creamy, you can just make this, put it in the fridge, eat it as a chocolate pudding. Or you could freeze it and then leave it out. The thing about the Ninja Creamy, it spins it. I'm going to show you in a second, and it makes it really, really smooth and creamy. But you need to get it flat, and you need to be sure not to fill it past this line. So you want it like that, and when you freeze it overnight, it comes out like that. See how it's flat at the top? I made sure, and it's not filled past the fill line. I obeyed the rules. So now I'm going to freeze this overnight. It'll be ready tomorrow for me to spin. But right now, I'm going to put this in the Ninja Creamy. So you put this special lid on it. It has like a thing that almost has like a key. It has these little indentations in it. And there's a couple of settings. If it doesn't have a lot of fat in it, you pick light ice cream. You stick it up in there. And then I pick the light ice cream because it doesn't have a lot of fat. When I make this for my husband, you can see it's going to town. when I make this for my husband, I just pick the regular ice cream setting because I make his with cashews and sugar, and he actually loves it. And so I'm really glad because he was eating Ben and Jerry's, and not even the non-dairy Ben and Jerry's. He was just eating Ben and Jerry, regular. So
Oh,
I'm thrilled that he's
because they make some vegan flavors.
yes. I have told Andy Bernick, do I need to get him out here so you can yell at him? We should probably drag him out with the dog so you can yell at him pretty soon. Um, oh my God, I picked like the noisiest things you could make today. I'm sorry. Sorry for all the noise, guys.
Yeah,
Almost finished.
usually Zoom mutes it.
I know. Well, I have my earbuds in, so I wonder if that's maybe it's not hearing it as bad because of my earbuds. I don't know. But wait till you see the consistency. It's crazy. I love this thing. I didn't think I was I mean, I knew I was gonna like it, but just because I'm like not such a huge dessert person, I didn't know how much I would use it. But my kids, you know, I make it for them, and then I make it for my husband. The kids come and get theirs, they pick it up, or I bring it to their house, I deliver. I have quite the business going where I don't make any money and I just deliver to my kids so they can eat the ice cream. But then, okay, then you take it out. Okay, wait till you see this consistency. You're not going to believe this. Look at that.
That's what I love about it. It's unparalleled.
It's crazy. That thing was stiff as a rock, and now it's all yummy and creamy. You can eat it just like this. It's ready to be eaten. That's good. Oh my God.
Yeah, I love the way you love it.
You know, it's a little bit ridiculous. Okay, but that's not, I'm not finished because I'm making it chocolate peanut butter cup. So now I'm going to dig a little well in the middle of this. And it has a setting called mix-ins, like, you know, remember that Cold Stone Creamery or whatever, you would go and you put your mix-ins in the middle, or, you know, it's not uncommon. All right, so I made a little well in the middle.
Did you have any
And then
problem like learning how to use the Ninja Creamy? Because a lot of people say, well, I already have a Vitamix, a food processor. I don't think they really understand until they've tasted a Ninja Creamy how the texture is so different than a blender.
Yeah, I didn't get it either, but I just kept hearing people, you know, seeing on your channel, people raving about it. And I know Kathy Hester, you know, has her class on it and she's always talking about it. And so I was like, you know, I'm going to be honest. I wanted it a lot because I wanted it to make it for Andy, because I want him to stop eating the stinking Ben and Jerry's. And really, honestly, he has a 1 pint of Ben and Jerry's in the freezer, but he's been eating what I make him. He just keeps it as a backup in case I don't stay on top of it.
Idea. When he's finished with the Ben and Jerry's, don't throw the container out and then just keep putting yours in there.
I knew you were going to say that, except I got to figure out, he eats that New York super fudge chunk. So I don't know. I got to find those little chunky pieces. I think he would know. He's an expert. So then I just put 1 tablespoon of I get naked peanut butter powder because it doesn't have any sugar or salt in it. Just put 1 tablespoon of that in the well in the middle, and then you just put it back on and hit the mix-ins, and it's going to reblend it. And that's it. So easy.
When you're done, maybe move your Ninja Creamy closer because that looks completely different than mine, but I have an old.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to get the big one like you have, but they were sold out. And I didn't want to wait. So I just got this is like the basic model. And to be honest, I'm glad I just got the basic model. It does everything I need it to do. I'm not going to make I don't even know all the things you can make. I know you can make sorbet. You can make sorbet on this one. You can make sorbet and milkshakes on this. I don't even know all the things you can do, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make frappuccinos and all that kind of stuff. So I'm glad I just got the basic model. And I will pick it up, and when it's finished with the mix-ins, get another spoon.
Yeah, because it's different. Because mine is like straight up and down. Yours, it's almost like it's suspended in space.
Yeah, it's like on an angle.
Yeah, it's
I don't
different.
know. It's a space age one. Okay. So now you can see again, it's all,
It's
it's
unbelievable.
so,
But I mean, every time I do it, and people don't understand, you can literally take a can of unsweetened pineapple, freeze it for 24 hours, and you have Dole Whip like from Disneyland without the sugar or chemicals.
okay. I keep seeing that you can't do the pineapple in water though. You have to do the pineapple
Oh,
in
no,
juice.
that's not true. It's not true.
It
That was,
says it on the instructions.
yeah, I don't know. It worked for
Is
me.
that a lie? Okay,
I don't know
I'm
if it's a
gonna
lie,
make that.
but yeah. And some recipes I've seen, maybe it was even Kathy Hester's, like she adds maybe a quarter cup of non-dairy milk for extra
Oh,
creaminess.
really?
But I've taken just canned unsweetened mango, canned unsweetened fruit cocktail, canned unsweetened peaches, canned unsweetened pears. Pineapple's my favorite. It works. It's like a one ingredient sorbet, and you get that scoopable texture that's so cool.
I'm gonna make that. I haven't made that yet, but yeah, that's mine.
Wow,
And it
that's
has the light
beautiful.
ice.
That's a real
Yeah,
fancy one. Nice. Well,
that's
Lauren,
yeah.
for somebody that doesn't really bake or do desserts, you did an amazing job. Just curious, we're just at the beginning of November. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? Have you decided?
Oh, I always host Thanksgiving at my house, and I always have like 25, 30 people. So yeah, I got to figure this one out. But my kids always help me cook, and we have a lot of people. And Hannah Kaminsky always comes over. She lives here in Austin, and just make a big old Thanksgiving. So yeah,
OMG. Well,
it's
thank you so
fun.
much. Well,
You're
just,
invited.
oh gosh, no.
You
I
know, I
can't
love you to
love to
pieces.
meet Hannah. I met Hannah Kaminsky once in San Francisco, but I haven't seen her in person since she did the amazing photos from my book. She is quite extraordinary with her talent.
She's something. She really
I've
is.
never
So
seen.
sweet too.
Yeah, that is so cool. Do
Yeah.
you ever run into Rip Esselstyn in Austin?
I have seen him a couple of times. I've seen him at Casa de Luz. I've seen him at Maria's Taco Express. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen him around. Saw him at the movies on Father's Day once. And
Do you say hello?
yes, I say hello to him. He never knows who I am. Like I've met him like 4 times. He has no
That's
idea.
so,
But
so funny. That's so.
but he's very very nice every time, and his wife is so sweet. Her
So
name
for
is Jill.
December, are you going to make the Jennifer Aniston salad?
I know it's not very Decembery, but it's so good. I feel like it's always time for a good salad. Yeah, I think I might make that.
Okay, well, that could be
Maybe I'll
maybe,
make something
maybe
else.
it doesn't sound like it's very hard, so maybe you can make something else with it that's a classic.
Yeah, you know, something I should have probably made is I make a really good stuffing, and a lot of people make like a stuffing kind of thing for Christmas too. So maybe I'll make that with it, like two different things like that. You know
Sounds
me, I like to mess up my kitchen and
that's
forget ingredients.
oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Lauren.
Thank you.
And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow for Feeling Great with Lissa and Nate. Take care, everyone.